completely stacked.
This is real.
Atlanta does like to run this. They like to run this. We've seen it before. This is actually not a troll in any way because A, it's going to take them way too long to get back to spawn now, and B, we've seen them run this before.
Little do they know that the maybe. You know what? This is all bets are off. I'm not even sure what we're seeing anymore, but well, I'm down for this. I'm excited for the craziness that might be upon us here, although I will say I'm not entirely convinced the Widow is a great idea versus the Orisa. And,
well, they might swap this. It looks like Halo just be putting that Sonic arrow looking for anyone holding close. There's no one there. And now they're just going to swap back up.
All right.
NRG should potentially try to take this fight into them. Instead, they're just going to be swapping, which is a smart move. The swap, the H key, it's so strong.
It is the most powerful move in the game and is often underused.
Especially in this meta where the brains just turn off after a time because it's just been so long since you had to swap. NRG making the right moves here, getting the spam comps, getting highly mobile tanks that can contest the point and look for knockoff.
Yeah, and they also have more of an ability to break the Orisa shield, to give more pressure. Kev's going to be looking to build the Dragon Strike. He's out for now. Okay, that's an interesting wall placement, but actually makes sense. But Saucy
down.
Got caught. And of course, they're not running this with a Mercy to bring that back up, so problematic.
Very problematic. Izar, though, going to go down to Hawk as well. They've traded those frags. Byram walking in, trying to get anything. They're going to look to pressure the point if possible.
Atlanta still managing to hold this on through, even down the Bastion early on, which is kind of the key to the comp, but now they're going to have to rotate over. And that's one good thing Reese is at the grand stat, rotating over, but they catch Byram mid-rotation, and this has been very messy, and yet Saucy
back on Tracer, which is a great swap as well. Something to contest the Zen, to chase the Mercy, and even look for the other squishies of the DPS heroes and Izar and Kevster.
After they won the Bonnie, they broke Tracer. They broke the capsule. They broke
the time capsule. Tracer's back.
All right.
Crab in chat. Tracer's back.
Tracer is back. All right, well, we're going to see Hammond dive on in, and oh, nice armor pack. Is it going to be enough? No.
Oh, Stan getting frozen and then just eliminated by the nano boosted Hawk.
It looked good for a while until you realized that he was just stunned forever and couldn't get away.
There was nothing he could do. He got bashed, then he got slept, then he got frozen, and it was just over for poor Stand 1. And he's going to make his swap to Winston, which I think is actually a much better swap, because there's no reason for you. No, don't go back to Goats. Don't do this to me, NRG. Why don't you just all go to the point? Why aren't you just going to the point?
You know, Goats actually, you might think that they do well in winter environments, but it might get a little bit too chilly for them here because they're likely run into A, getting walled off, and B, getting hit by a blizzard.
And now they've been walled off, but they didn't get a great wall. They were able to keep some of their supports with them. There were 4 of them there. They weren't able to catch them on the station.
One key thing though about blizzards as well is that blizzards get eaten by divas a lot, where we've seen that in, okay, Byram just got chunked. Saucy's won the kill feed, but that was an icicle.
Saucy just falling off that damage from Sugar Free, which was good communication, really good communication and awareness from the DPS of NRG, or not NRG, Atlanta.
So, meanwhile, Sugar Free still holding on to Blizzard, and this is really nice control coming out from Atlanta right now.
And there's no Zin there to heal. No. Byram's not there. Saucy could just go spawn camp right now if he wanted to.
That would be the real, tough bully play, which does fit to the Atlanta mythos for how their team has been playing generally. Saucy moving in, pulse bomb out.
Good stick. Been a while since we've seen one of those.
Oh, man, takes down 2. A rarity in 2019, but a goodie when you see it happen. Saucy exploding here and now. NRG down to their final minute.
I really don't like... Goats is a solid composition to try to run to the point too. They shouldn't be trying to rotate. They really should just be trying to go to the point. You can even take it wide. Instead of going through the right doors and rolling all the way up, you could just go past the rock and then to the other side of the point. But they're playing a slow game and they really don't need to.
The more you rotate, the more wall opportunities you give Sugar Free. It's playing right into his hands. Dogman under pressure, has the nano boost ready, and he just nano May. We have nano May in the field. Drops the blizzard, not Eden. And oh man, this is control coming in for Atlanta. Does someone even come up with a name for Nano May? I don't know.
I haven't thought of one. I haven't thought of one yet, but I will say that was a smart blizzard from Sugar Free. Even though he dies at the end, he drops the ult, drops the blizzard when the Diva's out of mech from the bomb.
Nice body block, Stand 1. Getting isolated immediately. Smek's coming in right after, but it is merely the martyrdom of the tanks. They have no other choice than to run onto a point and simply fall. Halo in the back, hoping he can build a barrier, but it's all on cleanup right now from Atlanta. And
Are they going to kill Halo at any point?
No.
Turn around, please, for Halo.
No, just let him stay there forever. That is clearly the role here. Look at the Hammond.
Stand 1 kills H.
All right.
That was but that was an interesting delay and a really great play from Atlanta. Saucy making the swap to Tracer was really good.
Tracer is back.
Crab.
Yeah.
Tracer is back, Crab. Atlanta, they pull out a defense which we've seen them use before, and NRG did not know. We've seen the counter to Atlanta defense, and NRG, they went dive, great. But then instead of sitting there and just pressuring the point eternally, they like tried to commit, and then when they swapped Winston, they went goats, or there were so many options you have available to you, and they just chose to take half measures each time. They didn't commit to the point, they didn't commit to diving, they just...
I know from my good friend Mike that half measures are never a good idea.
They are not. They are definitely not.
So obviously this puts NRG in a very, very tough spot here. Note that this is first to 3, it's not best of 5, so they can wave their hand and make this all go away. They can send it to the Harry Potter bathroom dimension.
The Harry Potter bathroom dimension, there it is.
Well, if they full hold in turn, that's all they gotta do.
That's all they gotta do. That's it. Just full hold Atlanta.
Forehead.
It's fine. Forehead, 4 house, 4 mansion.
By the way, very unlikely. Full holding Hanamura, it's rare. And doing against Atlanta, who's been very good at early attacks, going to be even harder, especially when NRG's not coming out with anything special here. It's literally just 3-3.
Just 3-3, and Atlanta's going to play in their own 3-3. And Atlanta, if there's one thing they're good at, it's 3-3. It's a reason we highlighted Gator earlier, because he's just a cerebral player. He's someone that's able to lead, to play his role very well within the composition. Atlanta is favored in this matchup for me.
And they get multiple cracks as well, where not only do you have to beat Atlanta's 3-3, you have to beat him repeatedly.
For 4 minutes.
For 4 minutes, yeah.
To stop a single tick. You can't let him get a single tick.
Easier said than done.
Much easier said than done. Atlanta, once again, rolling out to his first fight, and I'm going to be watching the Zarya bubbles.
Looking at him, watching him like a hawk, you might say.
Yeah, watching them like a hawk. You might be correct.
Well, shield going to be going on Reinhardt early on for Gator. Gator going to be backing on up. NRG, biddable defense here so far, but now they're moving in Sugar Freak. Sensing weakness there, going for Stam 1. Nice bubble. Armor pack on the Stam 1, keeping him alive. Good support onto the Reinhardts on both sides. Now they're looking at Gator, they take him down. Counter engage for Atlanta, working out well.
Getting Kepster in return, but that was an early, or not an early pickup, but a pretty, as the fight had broken down, they're able to catch Gator and just play slow around that.
So NRG with a good counter engage, able to break that back.
And Stand 1 looking very far ahead in ult charge as well. They should just be looking for a very aggressive shatter.
You'd think so here, and I mean, you have to take risks like this. When you have to get a full hold here where it's not even the full point, you have to go off the beaten path, pure and simple. So you're going to see Sugar Free open up the rally here.
And Halo so isolated, but they aren't able to catch them.
They're able to rotate just in the nick of time. Meanwhile, moving to Stand 1, the man activated his trap card. He's going to not drop the shatter. He's going to fall. He does. Sugar Free gets him before he can lay the hammer down. Atlanta still very good on HP, and they're about to get even better. Dogman building up Transcendence mid-fight. Izar going to fall, and Atlanta making their way through off a unconventional first point defense to a very conventional first point attack. Hanamura going to be theirs.
Catching Stand 1, he just didn't want to shatter because if he had dropped it, he could have lost it. He had to wait to get healed, and they didn't have Trance up in time. That's going to be that. First point is theirs, and now Atlanta 2-1. It seems like the curse, the setting is coming true where the team that many people think is going to win coming in is they lose the first map, and then now they're up 2-1. So
yeah, it's Operation False Hope we're seeing here. I feel like they're all in on it. They want to just...
That's also in the capsule. Winning the second map.
All right.
Yeah, it's in the capsule.
Along with Tracer and a whole bunch of other heroes, but they could pull out an 8. They had Ana as well.
They did.
They really broke
They
up
got
the
them all from the capsule. That was it. They were there. That's where they've been hiding.
That's why you need to win Numbani.
That's true. Numbani unlocks those heroes. It's like DLC.
DLC. All right.
DLC for characters that are already unlocked.
All right. The new and innovative business practices right there. But Atlanta definitely looking strong. Many people have had them favored going in, even though they looked a little bit weak towards the end of the season and NRG was looking better. NRG now forced into a do-or-die situation as we look towards our fourth map, which of course is going to be Escort. And right now, the way they go, it's been a lot of Route 66.
I imagine that's going to be their pick as well because it favors Atlanta's 3-3 and it allows NRG to also. Well, we lied.
Okay,
Dorado.
We're keeping the Western theme, but it's going to be Dorado,
which is actually a map that favors 3-3 even more heavily than Route 66. So if anything, this is really good for Atlanta.
Is really good. Although now I'm thinking for Route 66, one thing we haven't gotten here in the Contenders broadcast that OWL had, we need like the soundboard with the whip crack. The old.
We don't have that.
Maybe we do somewhere in the back. We need to break that back out.
It's in the capsule.
Well, the capsule's clearly broken.
Well, it has to be. There's a lot scattered about. You just have to look. You have to search through it for a bit.
You get a reclamation crew on that. But Dorado being next map here, and why do you think we're going the Dorado over, say, Route 66, which has been more in flavor?
I mean, they do offer two different styles of play, especially for the first point. And I think NRG is very comfortable as well with running the GOATS composition themselves, maybe where they don't have to have that more flexible setup that you see on Route 66 first in particular. So maybe they just feel really comfortable on Dorado. They really know how to crack that first point. They know how to utilize GOATS within it. So that could be the reason why they're shifting towards Dorado. And we have seen them have good maps on Dorado previously.
I guess also they go is that Route 66. You know, we have some gimmicky strategies from here. They go, surely they can't bring out the May, Bastion, changing in the Tracer, other, like, they have to play this normal.
It does limit the amount of strategy you can use from Atlanta. Like, it definitely limits how many heroes or maybe different variations you might see.
Does make sense to me, but Dorado, it is going to be where we go here. It might be where NRG's season ends. Atlanta would certainly like to hope so. They'd like to get into the semifinals and, you know, just continue on their road of improvement.
Play to improve, as they say.
Well,
the age-old is the term I'm looking for. Age-old mantra.
I mean, also Atlanta's been in a season of compensation where they have to improve everywhere else because they took a big downgrade at their logo.
They did take a big downgrade in the logo department. They just shifted all that energy from the logo department to the play.
You know, which, you know, it's a little bit of a radical idea. You're losing a lot of style points, but seemingly it's worked out.
Style points for points that actually matter, which are map points.
Style points are
scores.
incredibly relevant, good sir. I smite you. But we're going in. NRG coming out the 3-3. Atlanta retaliating much the same, so it is in line with what you expected.
It is very much in line, and now we're just going to be seeing each team look for the setup, see who loses their first Rhine.
Oh, both Rhines getting into it, so it might not be long. Stand one healthy, Gator healthy,
well,
and Byron's down. Hawk came in off the flank, but he's going to give up his life for it.
But in return, they're going to be still fighting on that front line, trying to get any frags. He gave up the life, and he stalled the point, but the spawn advantage for NRG means they're just going to have them back soon enough.
They're going to have to give this up at least to the archway while they wait for people to get back. And you see the taxi service, Ajax, all the way back to spawn going, let me help you fly quicker.
Which means you're down 2 at this point. You cannot contest at all, so they will be going through the arch.
So they get through the archway. Good trade from NRG early on. Atlanta, though, they're going to get at least 1, if not 2 more attempts here in the courtyard. Moving in, Specs already low. NRG going in, both Divas in rough shape. Specs a little bit rougher, both in danger. And Specs against D-Mech first. Hawk gets out of the danger zone. Earth Shatter coming in real early from stand 1. Doesn't result in much at all.
The Shatter coming out from Gator afterward, getting 3 down. That's going to be the cleanup. We even did a very interesting Shatter exchange there. And that was a very quick Shatter from stand 1, but nothing was able to be gained on it.
And Atlanta able to stabilize in one of the strongest possible ways. And now you take a look at the next fight. Kevster, you'll get grabbed up in the middle of it, but Saucy's good to go now.
Saucy does have that grab ready and waiting, but trance means you can't clean it up until a Hawk has bomb, unless they really just want to use it to force trance.
Might just do it, we'll see. I mean, I think you do give Hawk the time to build it on up. You can wait to the courtyard. Energy's going to take a while to go forward, but it's up to Hawk to just get a little bit of glancing damage.
Hawk right now almost at 90%, so they will just be playing the slow game. Atlanta just continuing to build with the rest of their ult, waiting for that combo, because they will not be able to clean anyone while the trance is up for Byron.
And Energy's much in the same case, but Specs is behind.
Grab
Eden right away. So Saucy, they're not going to be able to rely on that, but they get Halo early, so again, it might not matter. Zarya's getting bailed out left, right, and center. Self-destruct over the top, Ezire down. And Atlanta still able to take it.
Grabbing used some ults in that fight, but that's perfectly fine. I'll trade a grab eat for a frag. I will. And GOATS, you just need 1 frag. You really just need 1 frag from that combo. Anything to just open it up, and that was before NRG had even committed anything themselves.
And note for NRG as well is that, okay, Smex has a self-destruct, but Kevster now not going to have a grab of his own, so this has been a good hold by Atlanta here so far. We've already burned away 2.5 minutes.
Gator almost up to another Shatter as well, while Byron doesn't have trance, Dogman does. If I'm Atlanta, I might just look to try to be very aggressive, use my beat to get anything out of them, maybe force an ult, because Kevster does not have that grab, and then trance after.
On the lead, Smex holding on to the self-destruct of his own. Ezire going to open up the rally. Smex hoping for a miracle, hoping for a dream, right to the backhand side, gets 3!
Well, Smex opens it up again. He keeps doing it. Someone stop this man.
I'm not even surprised. I was like, you know, most divas be like, this is a bold move. For Smex, it's just Tuesday.
He's a bold man.
Yeah.
He's a bold man. He's like Chex Mix.
Is that really your definition of bold? And that's not, it's no Honey Bunches notes.
That's not even, they're not even the same realm.
No,
they're not even the same
all right, you know what, we'll have a serial battle later. Clearly Lucio's the best, but stab 1, holding on to the Shatter. Atlanta coming right back on in. This will play. Earth Shatter connects. Gator knocking down 4, taking 1 for a ride back the other way.
But the counter shatter from Stand 1 means that he's able to keep his team alive and they pick up Sugar Free.
They end up with 2. It's a good counter from NRG. Gator now in trouble. 3 down. NRG gonna be getting point A.
That's it. That was a really good exchange for NRG, actually. Specs opening up, I will say that wasn't necessarily fantastic play, but Specs being aggressive with the Diva Bomb and just getting the 3K opens up from there. Sandworm gets the Shatter, cleans up the recontest, and now Atlanta, they have to spin second, but they had a good first hold.
It was a good first hold, and NRG just continually getting bailed out by just the
Specs.
incredible amount of gray matter in Specs' brain to find situations that other Divas don't.
Specs has just been looking really, really good. I'm glad that we highlighted him for NRG because he's been living up to it.
Whoever was pushing that guy's...
Whoever was pushing it, whoever could it be?
Yeah, who knows? Not bragging on, by the way.
Not bragging.
Steal a term from you, but Specs, another bomb going up, gets Gator. It's not as flashy, but it could be it.
Also isolating Sugar Free during that bomb. There's a pick up the frag, get Saucy late. Saucy drops the grab.
All right. All right.
Okay.
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 All right, good. You do you.
You do you, Saucy. I don't know if that was the play. And Dogman popping the trance as well.
We have gone off the rails here, and Atlanta is losing their ults left, right, and center. Ajax gonna get vanished away, and that is NRG building up some real momentum here in point B.
But Stan gonna be picked up. Stan 1 picked up on that recontest, and they're gonna lose Specs as well. Everything was looking so good for NRG. It seemed as Atlanta had just thrown away ults, but they overchased and got caught.
NRG just stole Atlanta's overcommit move, and let me tell you, it was not very effective.
It was super effective in the context of it not working.
Yes, okay, we've just totally flipped Pokemon on its head. Well done. Well done.
We're really redefining a lot of things. What bold means, super effective. Like, we're taking all the terms.
Like it all went awry when Ryan Reynolds became the voice of the future. That's all I'm going to say
Sugar
there.
Free holding really close here.
It's for Gator. It's for Gator.
Oh, he uses the bash, but his team gets grabbed. They're like, oh, let's just grab. They're holding so close. And
yeah,
they do.
It was a good plan. Execution, not great. Also bad timing. NRG cleans them up. The sneakiness not rewarded. And that's decisive enough that they might be able to get this right to point B before anyone touches the point.
This is a really good position for NRG. They're going to have both of their support ults, and they don't have anything to worry about. They don't have a grab to worry about from Saucy. They can be very aggressive if they need to.
Going for the pin. Stand 1 going to get it, but it's the Zarya's shield. Ajax down. It doesn't matter. NRG getting the point B, and they've made up a lot of time.
They've made up a lot of time, and they didn't have to use any ults for that engagement.
On the least. So NRG, Hope still alive. Shatter coming down to the defense. Might be getting 2 here. They're investing a pretty reasonable amount on both sides here for an early fight on point C. And so far, both teams not really too worse for the wear.
That exchange, even though NRG had to back away and they didn't get any part time, Atlanta invested so many more ults comparatively to NRG's current ult economy. This is so good for them. They can win this fight with any ult.
Looking real good, Atlanta. A little bit far back. They're close. Izar almost taking out immediately. Smacks. Find Saucy. Izar, though, taken down 5-on-5. Stand, though. Nice charge leads the way. NRG still in it.
They do lose Stand late, but he should be back in time. That's actually a very late kill. If they catch Dogman here, that was a good trade. This is a good trade. Losing Stand 1 for that Dogman kill means you can get the cart time, and you can just wait for them to get back.
Fun fact, Kevster has not died in a long time.
No, he's been continuously high energy, just getting grabs over and over. This is the match. Kevster's been kind of quiet this series. He hasn't been one of those Zarya players where I really feel like he's made a huge impact, but he has been making one on Dorado.
It's been very good for him so far. Grab, even out, connects, not needed in the least. Fall coming on in. Answered though, barriers on both sides. Gator under pressure. Earth Shatter locked and loaded. Dropped it, but I don't think it connected at all. Died mid-shatter. And NRG still looking good.
This is looking really strong for NRG. They were able to stop that Shatter. Byron got trance as well. Gator getting the solo on Saucy, which is all you need. He gets the frag, that's it.
NRG building real momentum here. 25 seconds, and they have a dream. And that dream is to finish out Dorado. Point C in their taking. Ajax staggered. It is pure delay coming up from Atlanta, but how much longer can they delay? Likely not long.
All based on Sugar Free, what he can do on this Tracer. He's touch point, the recall. He will get cleaned up. Now it's just a focus fire battle for NRG. Can they get it before 0? They can.
They can. And for Escort, of course, it doesn't really matter as much.
No, it does not. It doesn't, but I just like to see it.
It is. It's a good measure there where it's just like, you got a little bit left.
I was very Sean Connery there when I was saying about Saucy. I was like, Shoshy. Shoshy, they got Shoshy.
You've been mentioning Sean Connery a lot.
Have
were you on like a Bond film?
No, I haven't.
You're sure you weren't just watching Classic Bond or maybe League of Extraordinary Gentlemen?
No,
or...
but that's an underrated movie.
Really?
I think so. It's actually kind of not good, but it is underrated still.
Is it one of those things where it's not good to the point that it becomes good?
Yeah, it's like one of those.
Okay, I can respect that. I can respect that a lot.
NRG, though, having a good offense. Kevster, who'd been quiet, like we just talked about throughout the series, he seemed to be just not dying, getting grabs where he needed them to. His grabs opened up the point multiple times, opened up the fight. Kevster being a lot more of a force.
Yeah, solid, consistent, reliable, and I mean, let's break down though what we saw. If you had to give a report card to NRG's attack there, for point A, it's a D- or an F. It wasn't very good, but their point B, it was an A. Point C, also an A.
Yeah, point C is a hard point to cap. It is a very hard point to cap, especially when you're already down in that time because it's taken so long to get both point A and even push it to the ropes almost for point B.
So NRG doing everything they can to keep their hopes and dreams alive, where, let's be clear here, if you go off the stats for Dorado, it's probably more likely than not that we go to a map 5 here, because teams don't always finish map or point C here.
It's a very tough point. NRG now just looking to try to stop them. Really, if they can just buy as much time as possible on points A and B, it's very likely to stop them at point C, because it's just a really tough point to push.
Early Fire Strike goes out, eaten by D.Va, the movie you see on repeat every opening of every game ever.
A little bit of deja vu. NRG just holding the high ground, trying to get some spam. It looks like they might want to try to drop aggressively, looking for any sort of situation where they can try to catch them back on Atlanta. No, instead they're just going to rotate towards the choke.
You see how aggressive Hawk is relative to normals, where he's more willing to flank, more willing to be a little bit away from his team on the D.Va. Probably one of the more aggressive D.Vas that we see, and NRG's giving up a lot of ground for free here.
They have given up a lot of ground, but now they're contesting. They're trying to hold them at this choke. It's just an easy area to control because you're able to funnel your health, just able to funnel your resources so easily.
He's getting jumped by Fire Strike, might result in his doom. Sugar Free though falls. He was coming on in the fall through on that. Ends up getting punished in turn, so instead of being down Ezire, they team down Sugar Free. And NRG, good solid hold from them here so far, and very good game sense by Ezire.
Dogman catching stand one in that fight though means they could potentially come back and fight the choke. Ajax with 1 HP, they're having a Lucio duel. Oh, Halo, he wins. He catches him at the end. He was not gonna let Ajax get out alive. Ajax was really thinking he was safe.
A great wall ride battle. Halo riding the walls just a little bit better. And now
that actually slowed down Atlanta Academies to push enough as well because they lost Ajax late, which means you couldn't capitalize on stand one's death.
They're gonna hit by a grab. Everyone getting stuck in the party zone, and man, they wish they didn't attend. 3 people falling right away. A good grab, even better fall through. Byram getting in on the action. And NRG, they're looking like they very well can bring this map
far ahead on that grab. We did not touch on that, but once again, showing up on Dorado. Look, he did his first grab. He's 40% on another, and Saucy's at 50.
This is dominance from NRG right now. Atlanta looking outclassed, looking like if the bodies are home, Dorado, probably not.
Look at Kevster just trying to get so much damage. He's already at 30%. He's just doing so much damage here. Saucy's building this so much slower.
I mean, he's going to lap him in ult charge here sooner rather than later. We see Transcends come in on both sides. It's forced out early from Atlanta. They don't get much from it. They end up losing Saucy to self-destruct.
Oh, Saucy was in a tragic position. Got caught on that left corner, then got by the bomb. But they're committing ults. Atlanta's decided to commit ults in this fight, which I do not think is the right play.
Yeah, it's a rare, bold move to commit ults in this Dorado corner to the left.
When you're down a player.
Not ideal.
Not ideal at all. I feel for Saucy there because he got knocked into a corner. It looked like almost like a corner bug and was just trapped on that ground and could not escape the D.Va ball.
Shout out to movement there. You don't see that from first person all that often, but Kevster using Zarya jumps to a good deal and has Graviton up.
Hey, Saucy did it too.
Yeah.
Saucy did it too. We're fair here, remember?
We are fair.
We are fair.
That is the key tenet. Kevster holding on to the grab. NRG.
Saucy still doesn't have a grab.
Like, drops the grab, pulls them all together. Stand one moving in. Halo getting into the fray. And again, Kevster putting NRG over the top. 1 minute away from a first point hold here in Toronto.
Atlanta's just waiting for Saucy's grab, I believe. I believe they're just really waiting for that grab.
Honestly, at this point, Atlanta might just be waiting for map 5. Like,
that could be it.
This is a broken team right now.
Well, you know, we're just seeing they have ult banked right now. They do have 4 ults coming up. NRG are going to have 4 ults as well. They don't have any support ults either. No support ults to keep you alive in this fight. But this is almost last fight territory.
I think it is. 35 seconds left. It goes for even a long time at all. That's going to be it. NRG, they're being smart. They're dragging this out. They're backing up a bit. They're waiting for the engage. Round talking in from Atlanta.
Saucy's first grab of the game.
Grab bomb setting up. And no, Bomb doesn't get anything. NRG answers with their own stamp one, gonna drop the hammer, Sugar Free isolated and down, Byram on the follow through. Man advantage here from NRG, down to the final 13 seconds. We could be looking at about 5.
Kester has grabbed first fight as well. There aren't any support ults. Will he be able to clear up anyone in this? Sand one doing so much damage with Saucy. He's so high energy, he has 80%. This is on Saucy. They
Atlanta's fighting it back.
They're doing it. They're doing it. They have
fought,
point.
somehow fighting it back. Still life in Atlanta. It was looking like NRG had it all but wrapped up. They stagger Halo, and that's bad. He was their taxi back to the fight.
I was giving him a lot of grief. It's taken him a while, but this last fight, Saucy has absolutely shown up where he needs to. He has another grab. He's been high energy. He's helped clean up those grabs. No, they didn't have to portal. Grab out.
Do or die for Atlanta. They drop the grab. Easy clean up there. Byram transcends after 2 people are down. I think he'd like that one back.
He would, but it's not the end of the world. Zen builds trans so fast. He really does. The bigger problem is if he gets caught here, which he does.
Well, he did. He did.
And that means NRG cannot contest at all in this first opening.
Sugar Free tier.
Are they going to catch the next as well? There's no way.
They are. They're going pretty close to spawn here. Sugar Free though going to go back to the Brigida. The Tracer was a momentary distraction. 2 minutes left. So both teams very good point A defenses.
And now with Dogman's trans advantage, they could potentially look to be very aggressive, make an opening. They should know Kester won't have grab just yet.
One thing they have to be aware of though, Specs, self-destruct, raw, over the top, doesn't connect, doesn't get what he's looking for. Atlanta's still good. Halo trying to commit there, looking for the boop up, doesn't get it. Off of Specs' bomb instead. Specs is down, Halo's down. Atlanta starting to bring it back here on point B.
Getting so many on that fight as well. They're just playing so solidly around him, and now he does have that trance. He has it over Byram. They're getting late frags. They're going to hold the spawn. They're not going to let them contest.
Who's stuck on spawn right now? Who are we missing right now? Who is the unlucky?
Dogman. Dogman is their designated cart pusher.
Designated guard dog of the payload.
And now NRG has to filter out. They have to stagger on to this point when Atlanta's been building so many ults. They're in so much control.
Again, they're just seeing a kind of deja vu here from both sides. Saucy holding onto the ground. Eden on one side. That is brutal. Saucy still has a grab.
Oh, wait, no, he still has a grab. Yeah, my eyes deceived me. I thought a right click was a grab.
I trust it.
My eyes deceived me.
Yeah, Saucy still has a grab.
Yeah, that was a right click I thought was a grab.
That is fair, but you've caught it. And
I did catch it. That was sometimes you just see so many things on your screen. I should have recognized it because there was no voice line, but that was an oopsie. But they catch it in the end. They hold close to the doors, and they just don't let them out for free. And they didn't have to use very many ults at all besides the trance.
That said, you might have been the arbiter of the future. Grab could be eaten into the next fight. Kempster on one side, Saucy on the other. Atlanta with the combo locked and ready. Kempster moving in, grab not eaten, connects to the back, grab on both sides. Hawk, bomb up, doesn't connect. NRG able to back out, bomb or barrier used. NRG still fully set up. Hawking a bit of damage, but still totally fine. Both teams, good HP as we roll around the bend.
Right now, Atlanta is in control. Gator about to have another shatter here if they can look for the setup. There is it so big, that's gonna open it up.
Gigantic, and that doesn't even do it justice. That's the way through for Atlanta. Atlanta, a minute 20 left, with more momentum than NRG had, back the other way.
And look at this, Dogman has another trance. They can use this so aggressively again when they come out.
Atlanta on the verge. Someone's gonna be a touch of point.
No! Atlanta far ahead in that time bank now.
So Atlanta going to be having 2 minutes and some change because of all the extra time that NRG is getting here. No, that's a game winner, right there.
That is a game-winning shatter. I believe it was also set up by Sugar. We see him on the forward. We couldn't see him on the other side of the cart, but that was a good shatter, good setup for Sugar Free as well.
Atlanta, just when you think you have them done, just when you think you're going to a map 5, which we still could.
We still could. It's not out of the works. It's not impossible. But Atlanta does have this time advantage, and they just, despite having a really bad first push, much worse than NRG, they just brought it back. Well, hero plays.
Also, the other thing I would say here as well is that Atlanta's style of defense, where they hold really far up, is a lot better of a style when you're dealing with low time left on the clock. If you think back here, no matter how this first attack goes, when it swaps hands, NRG can't be passive and give up to the archway for free, the way they did before. That would be a pretty poor idea in this sort of time-limited situation, unless their attack is just, like, insane.
Especially if Atlanta is going to hold so aggressively here, which they will. You know they will because it's the right thing to do.
Yeah, and it's also just, it fits Atlanta's MO, which is get near spawn doors and bully as hard as possible.
Atlanta just setting up. waiting to take this fight. Atlanta, right now, this first engagement, they don't have to commit to any frags. They can play the slow game at first, and then look to the engage. They don't have to look for anything right off the bat.
Well, Atlanta, they are slowing it down a little bit here early on, but as soon as they turn the corner, I do think the game is going to be afoot. Go pull Sean Connery here. Stand one down immediately. Sugar Free. This is actually okay for NRG. That is a favorable trade. Stand one's going to be back in good time. Can't say the same for Sugar Free. And NRG making it real bloody. A decisive first fight. And that's what you need when you're down on time.
Atlanta getting that pick, but then in return just losing sustain. Losing Sugar Free means you're just going to slowly but surely just not have as much healing. Not have as much frontline pressure. Because Brig, despite not being Ryan, she does a lot.
Powerful stuff coming out here from NRG. Now we're about to run out of time. We are going to be heading into overtime here shortly. Atlanta wants to finish this right here in the courtyard.
If Atlanta wants to commit to this fight, it is all on Hawk's bomb. They need to look to engage, maybe use it defensively because there is so much ult advantage for NRG.
Grab out early from Kevster. Bomb
Catching
from Hawk!
fire, that's such a big pick.
It's really, really big, especially since it's about to have Transcendence. Hawk making it through, gets a D-Mech on the Smex. And it's Hawk, the hero diva plays for Atlanta. Even with the Shatter coming in, they don't have the personnel to follow through on it the way they would like to. And Atlanta, dominating, grab, connects. It was looking like it's gonna be in, not quite. Saucy, 3. And
Hawk made the difference. Hawk made the difference there. 100% ZP. Catching fire when he had 85% trance while the combo was out where they were trying to catch them, that's so big.
Really big. And as a result, Atlanta now, very simple task in front of them. Normally, their first attack was quite poor. So the idea that they get held for 2 minutes and some change here, not crazy.
It isn't crazy, but they definitely want to get further than that faster because they want to win this map, and it is so within their reach.
The problem is for NRG is that do you turn this into one-fight territory? Because the way that they defend here is very clearly going the archway. But where the payload is, if you die an archway, that's it. You don't get to go again. Your season's over. So does NRG change up here and hold more aggressively?
In this particular case, I really don't. They have to be, if they're going to hold aggressively, they have to be holding on the cart. So they have enough time to potentially come back for another fight. Because if they hold back on the corner and let the cart push up at all, they will not be back in time. They will not be back in time to contest.
So do you just see that then as like pure one-fight territory for NRG?
I think this is, it's a really unfortunate position that the cart is for them. Because it's on a knife's edge. Like, it's so close to being where you almost can't recontest if you take an early fight unless you're so far forward.
That is the world that NRG lives in. Their season on the line. Atlanta looking to finish this out to avoid a Game 5 to have a more reasonable 3-1. See what they can do.
Right now, just sitting up top, spamming. We saw this last time as well. It looks like they're just going to be getting the spam and then backing up the Arch. It looks like they won't be taking the early fight, which means we have one fight on our hands. If NRG loses one fight, it is over.
One fight territory here. Playoff hopes on the line for NRG. High damage coming in. Kevster getting chunked early. Atlanta taking the fight here on set payload. Stand one getting chunked. NRG losing the poke game right now. Here so far, they need to make a move. They need to make it fast. Izar almost down. He is. Izar and Stand one out of the fight, and this is looking real good for Atlanta.
And they're also going to pick up Specs in the backline as well. They're just going to play together around Dogman. They have so much of this, such a big man advantage, so much damage on the field for them right now. Halo has to get out. They need anyone to touch the point.
Anyone needs to get there. Kevster does have a grab. Moving on forward. Emergency grab. Hopes and dreams of energy on the line. Fire strike in from afar. Barrier, though. Getting dropped by Atlanta. They're still nice and healthy. Halo down, and that's it. That's it. Atlanta moving to the semifinals. NRG season over.
That was so close for them to be able to recontest, but a good boop. Great job from Atlanta. Great job from Atlanta to play around their advantage there, play around Dogman. When the fight is breaking down, the Zen is your most important hero to keep alive. He is the one where if you're playing around him and you've got any frags at all, you can just clean it up.
Yeah, and I mean, we've seen that from Atlanta all season long, really, where I'd argue Dogman's been a little bit more quiet recently, but still a very, very reliable player. And, you know, big plays coming from Atlanta across the board, because remember how close they were to getting held on first here. They came back.
Really close.
They had to make up a lot of time, and in the end, they set a way superior time bank. So both teams kind of telling the same tale, but Atlanta in the end telling it a little bit more convincingly.
And, you know, the curse was real. You know, you lose the first map, 3-1. The rest of the set, and that means Atlanta is going to be moving forward, and NRG's gone.
NRG out of it.
It's the end for NRG playoff chances. But I think they actually put up a really good, especially with how strong Atlanta had been throughout the season. I think they had a good game. It wasn't what they wanted. Obviously, they wanted to win, but I think they had a great game.
I totally agree. I think for NRG, it's weird, but this is the most promising I feel like I've seen NRG as far as playoff performance goes, where they had a lot of really good parts in the team. Not a lot of weak links, not a lot of, like, I don't understand why you're doing this. Like, yes, they got outplayed by Atlanta in the end, but NRG did feel remarkably solid and a lot of really good things to look back on and be like, you know what, this worked. A lot of parts of their team worked. Unfortunately, Atlanta just slightly above here.
Atlanta just being so coordinated. And that means it's gonna be it for us today. That's 3-1. Moving on to, I believe it is tomorrow, the 11th.
The 11th.
The 11th. We have our semifinal matches that are going to be played.
Yep, and